Okay, g'day there. You're looking at my NC Fairlane. And for once it actually comes out the right colour. I'm getting off track, but yeah. Every time I video this car it comes out blue. It's not blue, it's green. Yeah, it's actually showing it with the right colour. Anyway, not that the paint looks anything glamorous. It's overdue for a resplay. But yeah, getting off track here. I just I bought a rubber grommet for the PCV, the pressure control valve, where it fits into the inlet manifold. And I tried to get one locally. They quoted me $70 for it, and yeah, I thought, I'm not paying $70 for a bloody rubber grommet. Can jam that. So I got on the internet, didn't find any specifically for this model. But what I found lots and lots of was the grommet for the AU, for the V8. And because this is the V8, it's 302, it's a fuel injected 302. But anyway, yeah, for the same engine in an AU, they had a rubber, and that was like, it was $24 free postage, and it was supposed to fit this model. So I went out and bought that, and I've actually had it sitting here for a couple of weeks. I got around to putting it. The old one was all going soft and perished, and I'd siliconed it in, but yeah, it was leaking air. It was like I couldn't hear it, but it made it sort of a little bit difficult when you first started it. You had to sit there for a couple of, for a minute or something, give it a couple of revs before you put it in gear, or just stall. So yeah, that was due to it leaking that little bit of air in. It wasn't much. But anyway, getting to the point, I got around to putting it in today, and it fits the PCV fine, but it was loose in the manifold. Like, not really loose, but not tight enough to stop it leaking air, and or getting dirt in your engine or water or whatever else. And even when I put the PC, like I fitted that, I put that into the manifold, and then I put the PCV in there, and it still wasn't tight enough to seal properly. So I thought about silicon and then, but didn't like that idea, especially because you can't actually see it. Like, you're just going by feel. I'll give you a look at where it actually is. Actually, I'll do that in a minute. I'm getting off track again. I'm losing the point I'm making. So what I actually did is I got a piece of bicycle inner tube, and cut two pieces yay long. Probably could have got away with one actually, but anyway, because I cleaned it, I cleaned the dirt and shit off it, and fitted them over the rubber, fitted two of them, pushed that into the manifold. But I said one probably would have been sufficient, but I already had it in there. I didn't want to pull it out again, so I then I couldn't get the PCV to actually push into the rubber. It was a bit too tight, so I just wiped a bit of grease around the PCV, and I was able to push it in, but it's sealed up. And I didn't think to make a video, so I can't actually show you. It's already in there. But I thought I'd better mention it. I thought, because if I'm having this issue, somebody else can have the same issue. So it's just, there's usually always a solution to something if you just think about it and use what you've got lying around. I said, like, these are things I keep. Inner tubes, car, bike, motorcycle, push bike, motorcycle. Like, I don't keep every one of them, you got kids and they changing them every couple of months, and obviously you don't keep a stack of them, but you keep one of each, because you'll find that little bit of rubber will be helpful for something, you know. Yeah, like I'll quite often split it, spread it out, make gaskets out of it for, like, not for engines and stuff, but yeah, for other things where you need a bit of rubber underneath it to seal. And yeah, in case you're wondering exactly where it is, I did make a video on that valve. There is a filter under that PCV. I'll show you that in a minute too, because it's still sitting up there on a shelf. It hasn't made it to the bin yet, but in that video I'll show you where it actually is in the manifold. Yeah, because I had the manifold off at the time, and but yeah, it's not an overly difficult job, but it's not an easy job either, because yeah, you're doing the whole thing by feel. And even though it's on, you know, the left-hand side of the motor at the rear, there's too many things in the way there, you can't get your hand in there, so yeah, you're reaching in from this side here. Yeah. You go under these heater hoses, and it's right. I'll show you on the front, actually. It's not even easy to see either. Right, you got two bolts that hold the end of the manifold, and it's the same on the other side. And that PCV grommet, well, where it fits into the manifold, is just below where those, in the middle between those two bolts at the back. So as I said, you can't see it, can't see in there. It's a totally do it by feel job. And, yeah, this is that filter I was talking about. It's just a whole heap of wire mesh round and round and round, jammed together, and it clogs up, and then you get pressure in your crankcase and it starts blowing oil back, yeah, through the other breather into the throttle body. It starts blowing oil out of your dipstick, and yeah, in this one here it actually blew the sump gasket out, like it pushed it out between the bolts, and yeah, had a major oil leak. And yeah, that was a major drama in itself, changing that sump gasket. If you ever have to do a sump gasket on a 302 in one of these models, take the engine out. Serious. I took other people's advice and dropped the front end, and then I stuffed up all my steering alignment, and it was just a major drama from start to finish. You know, it would have been way easier to take the engine out. And the other issue was that I had to then glue it, yeah, because it's designed to fit onto the sump, onto the engine block, and then your sump goes on over the top of it. And because you're upside down doing it that way, I had to glue the whole thing, yeah, to the block with silicone, and then try and get the sump back up underneath it, you know, which was difficult, manoeuvring it around things without knocking it off again. And yeah, so if anybody tells you to take the front end off to change the sump gasket, no, bad advice. Take the engine out. But anyway, yeah, as I said, I've got a gasket now that has metal in between the rubber, so it can't blow out now anyway, and it won't now anyway, because I've relieved the crankcase pressure. But yeah, I did make videos on that job, and I made a video on getting this the filter out from below the pressure control valve, and yeah, with the manifold off, you have easy access to it, and you can see it, like, you know, not the whole manifold, just the top piece, just the, yeah. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bolts. 6 bolts, the whole thing comes off. Of course, you have a new gasket to put on it when you do. Anyway, that's enough yammering. So, yeah, hope that's helpful to somebody. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.